Hi guys, Puddin 597 here with a game of my Tier 8 German battleship, the Bismarck. This ship is one of my favorites to play.
Action
I'm not going to say the favorite because picking one would, to me, would just seem a little bit unfair to the others that I do enjoy to play. Now, I've said this prior in other replays, but every game you play prior to the one that you are in now affects your decision making in that game. Every game that I played prior to this, nobody supported our destroyers or the battleships. Anybody who was willing to push never got support. And it really starts with, I feel, the battleships. If you're not pushing up, the DDs can't stay forward. Your cruisers can't stay forward. So my initial game plan at the start of this is all the games prior to this one, a lot of the teams set their big guns to sea. It just seems that's where everybody was spawning and that's what people were fighting over. So instead of going over to A side, which usually is the norm, I'm going to go to sea and I'm going to support the two cruisers and our destroyer. Now the Fletcher in front of me turns out to be a real champ, a real good team player, and he is the reason that I feel that I do so well, because all these ships are going to have the threat of this destroyer being in front of me. Now, I see the two cruisers, they're going to go play into the islands, and I'm like, you know what? Nobody's in any sort of position to help our destroyer. And that's when I make the turn and say, you know what, screw it. Tired of it, of nobody going to support these guys. I was coming over to support them. I was going to try to use these islands to shield me from any of their destroyers. I cut this cruiser off. You know, I do apologize for it, but I knew I was going to do it, and I was like, I don't care. I'm going to get in a position to help this Fletcher flush out whatever DD it is. I didn't catch what destroyer it is, and with there only being 4 destroyers total in this game, the team that can keep their destroyers alive the longest usually seem to benefit the most. Now, there is a Pensacola and an Otago over here. And, you know, I did take my shots on him first because he was presenting more of a broadside than the Pensacola was. I am going to try to take a blind shot at him when he's behind the island. But, unfortunately, these are going to miss. I accidentally turned a little bit too much to where I couldn't get my rear guns into play. Set my secondaries on the destroyer, and he just disappears before they can do anything. Now, I know he can't drop torpedoes because of these islands in front of me. The Otago is just too far away, but he did pull a Notzer, so I might as well try to take some shots in on him. And somebody just nails him really hard, and I only do about 3,000, but I do have my secondaries on him because he was turning to get himself unstuck. Now I see the Pensacola, and he's offering me a much better target than the Otago, and I figured, you know what, there are 2 cruisers, they should be able to handle the one, as I get a nice citadel on the Pensacola. Now at this point, I did not realize that we had lost one of our cruisers. That this Otago actually did a nice job on taking out our Pensacola. Gonna take another shot at the Pensacola. And I do believe I did knock out his engines, which forces him to use his damage repair. But, you know, I'm the one on this cap. I'm the only one getting this, so I cut my speed, and I'm going to deal with this Otago, because he is well within torp range. And I just need to get rid of him as soon as possible as he dropped torps on our cruiser. There's another Citadel as I pull off the cap, and now he's gone. Now while that was going on, our destroyer in front of me managed to get rid of the enemy destroyer. And I thank him, I thank him for taking out that destroyer. Was going to take a shot at the Pensacola, but I see he's burning. He's less than 1,000 health at this point. The Fletcher's actively shooting at him. If I would have shot, it would have been a matter of, can my shells make it there in time or not? I'm like thinking I might as well just hold my shots and deal with the guys I'm going to have to start dealing with now. Boom! There's another double Citadel on a poor cruiser that is now sent to the bottom of the sea. But like I said, if I would have shot at the Pensacola, my guns wouldn't have been reloaded to take care of that enemy cruiser. So remember, sometimes your best option is not to shoot. The guy's gonna die, just let him die. I did most of the damage to that Pensacola, so I will get most of the experience from him. Take a shot at the Missouri, call out for the team to shoot him because he does have radar. And I want to keep this Fletcher alive in front of me. This guy was able to continue his push because I was pushing, taking care of those pesky cruisers that, that were in front of him. Even though he did finish the Pensacola, I got most of the damage to where this Fletcher now had a fighting chance to where he could shoot and take him out. I also finished off the enemy Myoka that was here, so he wouldn't have to deal with them. I see the enemy Fletcher. Now this guy has now become primary target number 1. He's a huge threat to me, along with also being a destroyer. He needs to die. So instantly I pop my Hydro, waiting to see if he's going to turn a little bit. And at this point, I'm just not going to wait. I need to shoot. He needs to die. He wasn't shooting his guns, and I'm just hoping I got to him before he dropped his torps. Now, I do say something in chat, but he dropped torps against our friendly Fletcher. I don't know why so many destroyers do this. I mean, I do it, I also do it, but if this guy would have used his guns, he might might have put it in a different situation. But, because he was so adamant on torping the Fletcher, nothing. He didn't get any damage. Now I've got to deal with the Bismarck. We are losing. We have 1 cap to their 2. We have fewer ships than them, but luckily we do have our Fletcher still alive. Now I do believe we are both getting hit by the Bismarck's Hydro, but I still want to get rid of the Missouri because he does have that nasty radar. But the Bismarck is a lot closer. He is a much higher threat to me. Even though his guns weren't looking at me originally, I still have to get rid of him because those secondaries are extremely nasty. Now, as you can see, we've only got 3 ships left to their 5. We are still losing by over 300 points. But I've got my secondaries trained on the Missouri because right now he really is the only one we can see. Now, I'm going to push on to B. And our Fletcher is going to do the smart. He is going to go cap A. We need to get another cap just to slow down this point loss. I held my shots a little bit there and hoping that the Missouri was going to eventually turn and give me a little bit more side. But it never happens. And now I've got 2 more ships in front of me that are a much bigger problem because my secondaries can easily handle burning down the Missouri. And I am going to take a shot at the Tiger because he is showing me full side. He is reversing. And, oh man, I thought those 2 shots were definitely going to go in and citadel him as my secondaries get me a Kraken and a close quarters expert. Luckily for me, the Eisenhower cuts off the Otago, so he cannot drop torps because he would torp a friendly ship. Now at this point what I'm doing is I am reversing because I want to try to get whatever torpedoes that are coming at me as much of a spread as possible so I would eat any, but I do eat one. And right before it hits, I hit my repair button so that flooding just doesn't do a lot of damage. But I still want to get rid of this cruiser as fast as possible because I know this guy can get a, they do have a very nice sail. Now at this point, North Carolina's calling me out in chat about how tasty I look, and I ignore them. I just don't care. I've got other things to deal with than somebody trying to be cute and funny in the chat. Now, the enemy battleship played it right. Took out the cruiser. He took out what he knew he could kill faster than he could kill me. And at this point, that's when the shore shot at me and I realized he was there. I had no idea this guy was there until he shot at me because I was so tunnel visioned on the battleship in front of me. The battleship did play it right. He dropped his torps on me and then tried to take out and he managed to take out the cruiser that was there. Now at this point I know he dropped one. Here comes the second set. Now I'm just hoping this guy is in a full panic because, well, I mean, really don't see too many battleships rush cruisers with torpedoes. And, he dropped them right on the line. But this guy is trying to defend his cap. Unfortunately, it's not going to end well for him. Don't know how I didn't get a citadel. Instantly cut my speed because I know the Otago is probably dropping torps because I have not seen him shoot, in a while. So, I'm backing up, turning just slightly, and at this point, I'm going to take my shots on him, get a citadel, get a high caliber, but the reason I shot at him and not the North Carolina was because my thought process was, I am going to die. There is no way I'm going to finish off this North Carolina. The biggest threat that's going to be our DD for us to win is going to be that cruiser. And that's why I took my shots on him. Even though, it really had nothing to do with he was presenting the signs, I would have shot at him anyways. Now at this point I made the mistake of turning. I should have just kept driving straight. Could have potentially lasted just a little bit longer as Mr. Smartass in chat goes about how tasty I look. It was full health. I was down to a quarter. Somebody calls out that I've got bad aim, that I'm a cheat. 195k, I think it's pretty good damage. But like I said, I wanted to finish off the Otago because I figured the best chance for us to win is to keep our destroyer alive. Now, I'm not going to subject you guys to full 6 minutes of the Fletcher hiding from the North Carolina. We do manage to win this game because our DD plays it real smart. He just doesn't shoot his guns. He just keeps the guy spotted, and he drops torps when he can torp. The North Carolina is going to do everything he can to try to antagonize this guy, to try to get him to shoot, but our destroyer doesn't fall for it. And with that, guys, we are now going to look at the post-battle results. 195,000 damage, Confederate close quarters, Kraken, high caliber, and with the 8 ships I sent to the bottom of the sea, number 1 on the team with the base experience of 2,800, which was made possible by our Fletcher staying alive. 400k credits. I don't play these for credits. I've got plenty of premiums for that. 142,000 damage coming from main battery, 28 from secondary, 24 from the fires that my secondaries did set. Just want to say thank you guys again for all the support that you do give us. We really, truly appreciate it. Please keep those replays coming, and the email for that is in the description below. With that, guys, just want to say please hit that like and subscribe button. Hope you guys had a good holiday. Happy New Year to everybody, and have yourselves a great day.